Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to group chat.
Woo!
Woo! Woo! Woo! Woo! We got a hot episode. We got a lot to talk about. We got D had a little bit of a crisis. Almost didn't make the pod today. Luckily, he did. Very last minute. We're going to talk about it.
Yeah.
We got a little bit of Hollywood gossip.
Ooh.
It's a big episode of heartbreak, actually.
It really is.
A lot of heartbreak in today's episode. A lot of breakups to talk about. And one of them is hitting very, very close to home. A member of the group chat family is devastated.
Yeah.
And we're going to tell you how he's coping with it. It's a little odd, and then we're going to go over, some advice, and I think me and Dee and Anand are going to try to jump in and help out, but
D might have a Balenciaga t-shirt on.
I might.
Yeah. Dee's also looking real designer today, so I don't know. We're going to get to the bottom of that as well. He might be like the Chamath of group chat, like with his fancy shirts. And then we got news. Malcolm Gladwell is getting slammed. We're talking about the world of advertising. A lot of stuff going on in the Senate. And we got a lot to talk about to get you started for your week. Everyone ready?
Let's get it. Do it.
Let's do it.
Cash.
Ladies and gentlemen, group chat.
Cash.
It's $1 trillion. Hot.
Guys, it's a little spooky
Why?
because it's episode number 666.
Ooh.
Dun, dun, dun. The devil's episode.
The devil.
The
I had a
episode of
devilish evening.
What'd you do? You don't look devilish. You look like you just got back from Hawaii.
It's a nice button up.
I know.
What are you wearing?
This is a Menlo Club 5-4 shirt.
Oh, that's good. Well done. That looks designer.
Yeah,
You could have told me it was Balenciaga and I would have believed
Yeah, I thought Saint
this
Laurent.
shirt's inspired by Michael Mente.
you. Okay.
Yeah, that's fair.
Michael always has like
Big
awesome.
Slootman guy. You guys, so, I mean,
Slootman, yeah.
we're in a group chat with Risa, Mente, who all listen to the pod, and everyone's obsessed with Slootman.
Slootman's
For
hot.
the record, what happened? You recommended Slootman on like a recent episode?
Yeah, so last episode, for content, I just haven't had time to watch anything, and a friend of mine suggested, hey, you should read Amp It Up by Slootman. I was like, I'm not going to read anything.
Friend who's also a software guy, Michael Katz.
Yeah, and so...
I just want to say, this is what I want to point out, just real quick, is another friend of yours made it his content recommendation like 6 months ago. Okay.
No way!
Yeah.
Who did?
His name's Drama.
His name's fucking Drama. Okay. Nobody listens to my goddamn book recommendations.
What's so funny, everywhere I've gone this weekend, everyone's like, hey man, I listened to that book you told me about. Because they're just like, if this guy's recommending a book, he doesn't know how to read.
For sure.
Literally like two people at Run Club were like, I started reading that book.
We need to switch. You recommend my book recommendations and I'll recommend like shitty Kevin Hart movies.
Yeah, because I have been getting, when I walk around, everyone's like, yo, you know nothing about Gray Man.
All right, tell me about Slootman.
Oh, great. Okay, what
Well,
happened?
no, I mean, there's nothing to say. He's a great guy.
Oh, no. Tell us. So Slootman's a great guy, real killer instinct, real old school.
Killer. Yeah.
What just happened to you, though?
Yeah.
That you
So
said was devilish?
Devilish was, so our friend John Aljam invited me to an event at SoFi Stadium, some family-friendly kind of little kind of occasion. And it was a 4-seater signing. So we brought the kids. It was an afternoon thing. And I didn't know what to expect, but it was like literally on the field. So I have amazing pictures and videos of these kids running on the field. And then I got to kick a field goal, like the best time. Then we had dinner up kind of in the mezzanine area. Nick Jonas performing, John and Vinny's Pizza. Great. There's nothing to complain about.
Yeah.
We leave at like 5:50. We go to the car. Wife grabs her bag, tosses it in the passenger seat. While we start putting the kids in the car, I'm like, about to open the door. Our youngest, Miles, slams the door, locked out of the car.
Really?
So you can't get in the car.
Can't get in the car. Her keys are,
Because the keys are in the car. Because don't cars not lock? Is it because...
I don't know. This little dude, I don't know what he did. He just did something. He's a little devilish guy. He's just...
Okay, so then what happens? So you're stuck at SoFi, which for the listener is very far from home.
Yeah, very far from home. And so I was like, I'm going to call Audi. Audi's like, we're, unseasonably very busy right now, whatever. So they said, submit online. I submit online. Haley just calls like the most closest tow service, locksmith type company. They're like, we'll send someone out in 30 minutes. I was like, cool. Finally, like 20 minutes later, Audi's like, it's 2 hours before anyone comes. It's so ridiculous.
Is the kid locked in the car?
No.
Okay.
It actually would have been better if he was. We would have gotten out of there faster because then we could have called 911.
Yeah, that's true. Or maybe you could have like slowly tried to coax him to the right button.
Oh yeah, I mean, if it was our youngest, there's no chance we would have gotten him out of there.
Yeah.
He wouldn't have done anything.
Yeah.
But finally, Nick Jonas ends up performing. We're sitting in the, like, I don't know if you've been to SoFi, but they have like picnic tables. We're sitting in the picnic tables outside. Everyone's obviously kind of angry at this point, but he's performing. It's great. And an hour later,
is Nick Jonas the Priyanka Chopra?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was seasonally a lot of Indians there.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
There's also Cedar Sinai Hospital.
A lot of Indian doctors.
Yeah. And then finally, I mean, I literally just got dropped off just now. And I just came for the pod. And they kept on their way.
Wow. So what happened? Did they end up, you got a locksmith or you got an Audi unlocked?
No, locksmith. The Audi guy was like 2 hours away.
So old school, like the old Slim Jim down the window.
Oh, yeah. And then the biggest hustle. He goes, oh, this is a German car. I was like, okay, here we go. This is the scam comes.
No.
The scam
there's
comes.
a German tax.
Yeah. They had originally
automobiles.
said it was like $100, $85. When he saw the car, he was like $250. He saw me with wife and 2 kids.
Yeah, he saw your Balenciaga button up.
Yeah, he
saw my
did. He saw
Balenciaga
what he
button.
thought was a Balenciaga button.
I was like, yeah, this is a $20 shirt, bro. He's like, I'm going to tax this Balenciaga, dude.
Yeah. Okay, so you spent all day at SoFi.
And I was like, really? $250? He's like, yeah, man, it's $250. And then
Inflation.
I go, I don't have any cash. It's only credit card. He's like, fine, processing fee too. Hits me with the $7.50 processing fee.
So you're out $260.
$257. Luckily, the whole event was free.
Wow.
Thanks.
You have to add that to Miles'
Thanks,
bill.
Cedars.
Thanks, John Elsham.
When Miles turns 18, the first 257 goes back to you.
Yeah, I need to start recouping on all these.
You start keeping a record. Okay, well, I'm glad you made it out of there. And could have been worse, and could have had a kid trapped in the car. So glad that didn't happen.
Yeah.
At least you had Nick Jonas. I mean, come on. Think of how many of our listeners have a time when their keys have been locked in their car, and I can guarantee you none of them had Nick Jonas performing off to the side.
Live.
So not bad.
And what's funny is as soon as we got in the car, obviously everyone's a little on edge. I pop in a Nick Jonas song to lighten the mood.
It's probably going to bum everyone out now forever.
Take that.
He's just like, turn off the music.
Does Dom understand keys are locked in the car?
Yeah, he understood.
Got it.
He wasn't happy.
No, he was like, are we going to live here forever? I was like, it could happen, bro.
Yeah.
It's not a bad place to live.
SoFi's nice.
Building. Yeah.
It is nice. And there's like the
You
lake,
got the
there's
boozy
water.
suite.
Yeah.
You got everything.
They go fishing.
Yeah, but SoFi, a lot of people die in SoFi.
Yeah.
There's like
a lot of people what?
What do you mean?
There's like a thing. A
In
lot
the
of people
lake?
die at SoFi. Yeah.
The lake?
Yeah.
What,
People
they dumped them in there?
die?
Yeah, you can Google this.
Isn't
I think
it
5
brand
people
new?
have died at SoFi.
Not during games.
I'm just saying, you can Google
Isn't
it.
it a year old?
Yeah, it's like just open.
There's 5 people who've died in that fucking lake.
But they were like,
what?
swim with the fishes.
You can
type
Google
shit.
it. I'm telling you. You could be Jamie. You're Joe Rogan. I see you typing.
I'm Jamie. I'm fucking Jamie. 25. Okay, September, 2 weeks after opening day, 25-year-old Sergio Rojo is found dead with a stab wound to his neck
Oh my
on the
god.
stadium grounds. Okay, so it's haunted. It's been up for a year and people are dropping like flies.
By the way, I don't know if you guys have been following what happened on Slauson and La Brea.
Oh, that was one of the most depressing things I've seen.
That was insane, that video.
So a woman driving, they say 80. It looks like she was going 100 down Slauson. So those that don't know, Slauson and La Brea is basically near the airport, like not far from the airport. It's called Windsor Hills. And it's like a hill. Like people drive fast generally on that street, but not like that fast. And literally like a rocket ship came into the intersection, hit a bunch of cars, fire, explosions, all kinds of stuff. 7 people died. Pregnant woman, little young boy, her boyfriend, amongst others. And she was drunk coming from arguing with her boyfriend.
Yeah, I think it was 6 people died, pregnant woman, plus an infant that got ejected from the car and that was found on the street.
I mean, that video was nuts. It was like, for the listener, if you probably shouldn't look it up, but it was literally like dead stop traffic crossing the road. So like dead stop, they had a green light, and this lady from the red light side, full speed. It looks like 120 miles an hour. It doesn't look like she even tapped the brakes.
It's really depressing because the other folks did everything right. They just went on a green light.
Yeah.
That's what's so.
Well, here's the thing is like, this is a part of, in my opinion, where you have to be tough on this person because it should be cemented in your head if you ever get behind the wheel, drinking and driving 100 miles per hour, that these are your consequences. Because not only did this person ruin all these people's lives, and I mean, think about it. This person ruined like 100 people's lives.
Yeah, it's 100.
7 people
it's
died,
probably
but
100.
100 people.
Yeah, because it's parents, it's grandparents, it's cousins, it's whatever.
So many people's lives. And sure, this person's going to get arrested. They're probably going to get sentenced for manslaughter, all those types of things. But like, it needs to be so severe and so public so that people know that it's not acceptable, especially in this day and age.
Yeah.
It's just like, how drunk do you, I mean, like, that was wild.
I was driving on the freeway with one of my kids the other day, and I drive kind of like in the middle lanes, not too fast, basically 65, 70 miles per hour. There are people driving like 100.
Yeah.
All the time in the middle of like, if I'm driving, it's like 10 a.m. usually, 9 a.m.
Right.
People are driving 100 on the freeway. What the fuck are you doing?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. You were saying you drive to Vernon, which is like kind of east of downtown. You said people are walking on the highway, right?
Yeah. There's always people walking.
What do you mean?
I don't know what those people are doing, but I don't know why anyone's driving 100.
No, I think there's just no law.
Yeah.
That's the problem. Right?
That's, I think, the thing.
Yeah. Yeah. You can walk, you can drive 100.
I don't know anything, but I feel like that woman committed suicide or tried to commit suicide. It was.
I mean, if you're her, like, honestly, it's unacceptable. I hope. I mean, there's no hope in any of it, right?
Yeah,
like you just fucked all these families.
Yeah.
It's disgusting.
So crazy. Okay, you want to move on to some lighter news?
I don't know if it's lighter, but
no.
Well, we have some light, like just fun gossip.
Oh, okay, great.
I mean, you might as well transfer to some gossip before we get to like real news.
Okay, let's do some gossip.
Gossip in the Hollywood roundup, gossip land, because every now and then, we gotta jump into the gossip. Kim Kardashian and Pete Davidson, it looks like, are broken up.
Total fraud.
It's a big blow for the scrawny white guys. Fraud. What do you think?
Why?
The movie's coming out Thursday. Pete Davidson has a movie coming out Thursday.
Oh, this is Kris Jenner.
Yes.
Oh, damn, bro. I think you're right.
What's the movie?
The movie's Bones and Bodies or something like that. We already have tickets. We go to every movie.
I mean, Pete Davidson.
We have advanced tickets to a Pete Davidson. You're dedicated.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're right. So he's probably right.
So you don't think they're getting back together?
No, they're going to get back together, but this is good to get some press.
He's in the machine.
Coming out Thursday.
He's in the machine. I think this is right.
I think it's just over. Like, I mean,
I don't know. He's like
as much as I would have loved to see this through, this seems like it ran its course.
But what ran its course? Why do they break up the week that he has a movie coming out?
Yeah.
He's busy.
Nah, this is fishy. This feels Kris Jenner manufactured.
Yeah, it's good.
He's holding hands with the kids.
There's no reason for them to be together.
There's no reason for them to break up.
That's fair.
Yeah, what about true love? Do you ever heard of that? Don't you believe in it anymore? Man, I just, I don't know. I guess who the fuck knows then? Because I didn't even think about that. I didn't even really think about this much. But I was excited to talk about it on group chat. And now, yeah, it seems like a fucking fraud. I don't even know what to say here.
I'm going to see the movie. I like the press.
I know, but you were going to see it anyway.
Like the warm-up.
I'm going with they're heartbroken. It's devastating.
Wow.
Okay, let's just do some prediction. Who's Kim Kardashian date? Who's Pete Davidson date?
Pete Davidson dating Kim Kardashian in 10 days, right? Okay,
after that. Who's Pete Davidson?
I was so wrong last time around. I think I said like Van Jones.
Yeah.
It was Pete Davidson. You could have you could have given me 300 guesses. I wouldn't have guessed Pete Davidson.
Yeah. So we have to be a little more outside the box. Kim Kardashian, Elon Musk.
That'd be good.
I like that.
Okay.
Elon Musk.
Pete Davidson and who?
I mean, who knows?
He can only go up.
But where do you go up? Isn't Kim Kardashian the mountaintop?
I don't know. Gwyneth Paltrow, Jennifer Aniston. Why not? Who cares?
Kim Kardashian's better than both.
Julia Roberts,
like whatever. Go A-list old school Hollywood. I think he goes older.
Meryl Streep.
That would be blockbuster. Meryl
Streep. Who knows, man? I feel like Kim Kardashian's kind of the mountaintop. If you're like trying to date famous girls.
Right now, yeah, I agree. But I'm just saying, if you're Pete Davidson, it's just this is all fuckery anyway.
Kylie, I think the only thing you could do is go Kylie.
Maybe you do
steal her from
Travis.
Yeah. They seem really back together.
Yeah, that's savage.
Can't trust it. That was also like he's back performing.
I also wouldn't be surprised if it's just Kim and Kanye back together.
There's no way. I just saw a news thing.
How many kids? 4 kids together. They still spend time.
I think it's a bit of a nightmare, though, right?
I know, but once you're in a nightmare, you just kind of keep it moving.
You just live in it. Just make a home there. Yeah, whatever.
Arian broke up with his girlfriend. Let's see what. What's your plan?
My plan?
Yeah,
not much of a plan right now.
Head
down to work.
He's 21 years old. 21 years old. If you're 21 years old and you broke up with your girlfriend, what would you do?
A girlfriend of 7 years. We've been together since we were 14.
I mean,
wow. So talk to us about it. 7 years at 21 is like pretty much eternity.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean look, Ari, you gotta just. This is for the best.
Literally a third of my life. Yeah,
I know, but like you know, it's actually more than 30. Like it's literally 100%.
Yeah. This
you didn't even know you had a penis till like 12, so it's like it's half your life.
Yeah, Ari, this is for the better. You don't want to. I mean, come on, you got to live a little, Ari.
Yeah.
Well, get out there, man. Find out more about yourself too. I can tell.
Is he devastated?
I am. He told me he's devastated.
When did you break up? Like last week?
Like Thursday night.
Oh, so you're still feeling it heavy.
Yeah.
Oh. Well, hey, get out there and find out more about yourself, man. You'll be happy you did later.
I'm still texting her. I'm not even going to lie.
Oh, come
on.
Jesus. You're a pussy.
Yeah.
You got to stop that.
You got to stop. You got to delete her number.
I have her number memorized.
There's
no deleting it.
You got to ask her to change it.
Let Tay here punch you in the head so you forget it. You have to why do you go out with him? The guy throws parties. Go out tonight, Nightingale.
Hold on. Let's actually just kind of dig a little deeper here, right? You're 21.
Yep.
You just broke up with your girlfriend.
Yeah.
4 days ago.
Sure.
What are you doing tonight?
Editing this podcast.
Ari, I don't feel like Ari is going to handle this the right way. He's going to go home and be sad.
Yeah.
Are you gonna go
I told him not to do that.
Yeah,
you
it's
can't
actually
do
funny.
that,
We were
right?
filming the interview on Friday, and D was like, "Go out tonight," and I was like, "Okay, let's see what happens." And I was just sitting in the car all night.
I literally told him, like, don't sit and sulk. You're 21.
You're 21 and you've literally had a girlfriend your whole life.
You're 21.
This is for the better,
and
bro.
you're in LA.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You live in LA. You grew
gotta
up in
live a
LA.
little.
And you have D to get you reservations at pretty nice spots.
Whatever. Go out with Taylor. This guy's throwing parties.
What's Taylor doing? I don't even know what Taylor's doing.
Nightlife. He throws parties like 3 nights a week.
All right. There we go. Sunday night
promoting
Jazz
parties?
Delilah. Go.
He's doing Nightingale tonight.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Oh, you gotta go,
You're doing
bro. Ari,
the full
yeah.
thing.
Go find out about yourself.
Isn't Sunday night like hip hop?
Yeah. There you go.
Wow.
Ari.
It's a hot night. It's
Get
a
out
hot
there, bro.
night, Ari.
This might be like the best memories. These next 2 years might be the best memories of your whole
If
life.
I were 10 years younger, I'd be with Taylor.
Yeah.
Just
We all would. We'd all be going out with Taylor and fucking Ari tonight.
I mean, if I was like 18 months younger, I'd be out with you guys. We're talking about 10 years.
Oh, shit.
Before
Well,
my
listen, man.
second kid, I'd be out.
Yeah, you got to get out there.
should we
Ari.
take Ari out? Should we do it one of these nights?
I think so.
And that thing's going to be sad and depressing. I'm not trying to hang
Yeah,
out
if you're
with
not
that.
sad and depressed, we'll take you out the next
Why don't
7
we
days.
all go to Delilah
down.
and take Ari?
Okay. Let's do
That'd be
next
fun.
Sunday after the pod.
That'd be fun.
Okay.
Yeah.
Next Sunday after the pod, it's jazz night.
We'll take the whole crew out.
You got a week to
Hey.
recover, Ari. You got
Yeah.
a week to, like, you know what I mean? Like, be able to at least be in public without tearing up.
Okay. You got it.
But if you're like weeping and shit, you're out
Yeah,
of here.
we're out.
Okay.
We're gonna just throw you out.
We
Yeah.
need some toxic masculinity.
Yeah, bring all that.
Yeah, bring all that energy. Do you even drink?
So I've been trying not to, but I mean,
I
fuck
mean, you're
it.
21.
That's out
You
the
just
window.
started drinking.
I'm more of a weed guy, and I'm trying to put away the weed.
Weed, I don't think weed leads to relationships.
I don't think
just
weed's
being
good for a
honest.
breakup. You got to
No.
go alcohol.
Yeah, alcohol is where it's at. Like, I don't,
Okay.
yeah, I mean, I just don't think weed is the right substance.
You're just going to sit at home and be sad.
Yeah.
Like,
We'll
watch
get drunk.
sad movies.
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
next Sunday.
What are you
Drunk.
watching, like weird rom-coms and feeling like that was
For
us?
sure.
We used to
I
like
just
this.
watch The
miss
West
her.
Wing over and over and over again.
I love the West Wing.
That's
my
what you
favorite
wanna
show.
watch?
Aaron Sorkin is the best writer of all time.
This is
But
why she.
That's what you
dumped
watched anyway, or that's the response? Is that what you did anyway, Ari, or that's the response to your breakup?
That is just what I do always. I just keep on
yeah.
rewatching The West Wing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Dee's right.
Yeah.
She needs to get rid of you.
Yeah. This is best for both of you. You
Yeah,
gotta turn off the West
you
Wing.
gotta find
You
a new
gotta go.
show, bro. West
Yeah.
Wing.
Yeah.
You're Gen Z. Find Euphoria. Yeah, we love Euphoria. We get high and watch Euphoria.
That is great.
Yeah.
I relate to it too much.
To
What part? You're not in the White House?
No, I'm saying
like-
I relate to Euphoria too much.
Which character? Please tell me.
No, I don't know. I watched like an
let's go.
episode and everybody was
watched-
high the
I've
entire
literally
time.
I didn't see
watched
one
entire-
person watching The West Wing on Euphoria.
Yeah.
Those kids were not.
Nobody
sitting at
knows
home
at
watching
Euphoria
TV.
knows what the White House is.
Hell no.
Or the West Wing.
Hell no. Not one of those characters knows where the White House is.
Angus Cloud.
He's dope.
I know, but he ain't watching West Wing.
No, he's definitely not.
No, he's
I
not.
met him.
Yeah, he's just
He
not a
didn't-
West Wing guy.
Not a big politics guy.
Yeah.
Okay, moving on. Okay, here's another thing. I feel like we could just talk to Ari for the next 20 minutes.
Sunday episodes kind of get a little wild.
Yeah. Okay, the next thing we have on our list here is that, with the economy slowing down and inflation and everything going on, there's been a slowdown in advertising, like on, Facebook, Instagram, those sort of things. Turns out it's not just relegated to the technology world. It's also hitting lack of advertising dollars is also hitting TV, print, a little bit everywhere. So it's coming. We're not in a recession, so don't worry. But no one has any money to advertise.
Yeah, I mean, they're talking about how advertising has obviously hit the digital market. How will it hit TV, radio, print, all of these things? I was driving down Fairfax this morning, and I saw the newsstand there on Fairfax, and I saw this woman buying like 6-7 magazines, and I was thinking to myself, how many people, like, we believe that everyone's on TikTok and Instagram, that's how they consume content, news, and everything.
Mm-hmm.
But a good portion of this country still gets all of their content from radio, television, and print still.
Yeah.
Like our mom still reads the newspaper.
Yep.
The physical newspaper. And so when you look at like the shift in spending, so I think it was like $800 something billion is the global ad spend. And they're talking about headwinds across, all the different parts of the industry. I'm just, as much as people believe that the shift is gone 100% digital, we were joking about in the last episode how many billboards Netflix and HBO and all of these people buy. And then you look at print, and then you look at radio. When you watch, like I have Bloomberg or CNBC on, there's still ads everywhere. They're still basically sold out, even maybe at a lower price. They're still sold out. I think advertising is not shifting to digital like so fast. Whether it's effective or not, either is yet to be determined. If there's still effectiveness of radio or print or TV, there's a lot of dollars still going to all of it. Like
Don't you think that's just slow old dollars?
I mean, I just think if you went and kind of did the traditional metrics on radio, bet you still like tens of millions of people still listen to the radio, and there's still a reason to
who's still watching TV radio commercials. I understand.
We've talked about this a lot.
I mean, I have the TV on, sports. I have the TV on, so I'll see commercials then.
I understand things like Tide and stuff like that.
And I know 75% of television spend, so that's like literally the last 10 podcasts, are pharmaceutical companies.
Yeah. Backed
so
up.
They make nice stuff.
Great product.
Lipitor.
All of it.
Viagra.
But
Zoloft. Prozac.
Name them. Yeah.
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 So what's your point?
Yeah. I guess my point is like I think
so it's not going anywhere.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, that honestly, market, I mean, look, I feel like if you're pharmaceuticals, you're like Tide. I don't know. To me, that makes sense. There's probably people that buy based on that.
I don't even think it matters. These people need to spend the money, and they're going to spend it anyways. I find it very hard to believe that television advertising is truly effective. What have you seen? As I still watch TV. Not a whole lot, but I still watch TV. The only ad I can remember is something like some weird like fast food ad. I'm like, oh, that looks interesting.
I feel like fast food's probably good. I feel like, that shit, like spray your garden with pesticides, like fucking laundry detergent, like if you think about the audience that is, I mean, there is a group of people that are still watching TV and still sitting through all the commercials. The question is like, what are they buying? And it has to just be I
actually don't think anyone's watching the commercials.
Anyone?
I don't think so. You just get on your phone. Even if you're watching live TV. Like, I'm one of the few people, and I was told by like a friend chat, I'm one of the few people that wakes up, First Take, which is on ESPN.
Nobody watches that.
7 to 9 a.m. I turn it
That's
on
just
at
what
7
you put
a.m.
on, like out of a habit.
Yeah. It's like I put it on at 7 a.m. and my friends say you're one of the few people that I know that watches cable. And then I'm like just running through it 7 to 9.
I would assume a lot of older people, though, are turning on the news or ESPN in the morning. They're watching CNN, Fox News, MSNBC in the evening. Like,
no, but my point is the way I consume First Take is I watch the segment and I want Stephen A to be blockbuster.
Yeah, whatever.
Fucking talk his shit, da-da-da. And once the commercials come on, I get on my phone and I respond to text messages.
I don't know.
Do you think like old people, like middle America, are sitting through them?
I don't know.
Okay. Well, listen, I don't know, but
you think an old guy just like after Stephen A. finishes his monologue?
You know what? Next time I go to the doctor, I'm gonna ask him about this Zoloft.
I'm gonna ask him about this.
I'm kind of a little depressed. You know what? I haven't been hard the last time.
Grab both. You know what?
It's Zoloft.
I'm a little depressed.
Turn your life around.
And penis.
Yeah,
I want to run in the fields like this family with the grass.
Yeah. Right.
And don't mind the side effects, which are
everything:
liver disease,
slow,
painful death. That's a crazy thing.
Bleeding
of all
from
these
your
fucking
eyeballs.
pharmaceutical ads, at the last 10 seconds are insane. It's like you're gonna die.
Yeah, you're gonna die a slow, miserable death. But it's okay. You won't have allergies
your dick's
anymore.
Hard for those 3 seconds of having sex, so why not?
I feel like Dee's right. These people like just have so much money that it's like, what do you care? Plus, if you're selling essentially drugs, like you're a legal drug dealer, you have so much money, you have to spend it. That'll keep TV advertisements alive forever.
I mean, what does an illegal drug dealer do? They buy watches, they buy chains, they buy cars.
Yeah, legal ones go to the Super Bowl.
These guys buy TV commercials. There's no different. Yeah. It's a flex. They're at home. They're telling their wife, goes, I blew 20 million on between
first
give
take.
Me all these first take ads. That's
Blew
all
it.
me, babe.
Didn't even think twice.
I didn't even think twice.
Yeah.
I even bought the show after that nobody watches.
I agree. That's why things happening. Like nothing. If they go master digital advertising, nothing changes for their business.
Yeah. It doesn't matter. These things are going to work no matter what. That's what these companies. I think they're afraid to find out that that's the reality because there's a whole ecosystem that wants them to win when they spend the money also. Like it's in everyone's best interest. It's kind of similar to what happened in the Senate this week with carried interest, where this woman, a Democratic senator, Sinema, supported fucking blocking the carried interest thing.
Love it.
Which is the most, like, this is telling you the Democrats have nothing to do with the people. This is the one loophole that actually is like a joke.
I like the loophole.
The elite.
Yeah, it's insane. It's basically
Anand, I told you, bro.
How do you
stop
explain
saying
this?
that on a podcast. They're coming for you when the revolution hits.
So the Democrats have
good thing no one knows who I am.
The Democrats have just passed in the Senate the Inflation Reduction Act, which is a climate tax and
it's so wild they're calling it
insurance bill. Yeah. I mean, it's good marketing from their aspect. It's all kinds of shit in there. It's a stock buyback tax. There's a 15% corporate tax. There's all kinds of spending for all kinds of shit. But I think the most interesting one that everyone's getting the most noticed for is carried interest, which is basically, how do you explain it? It's the
carried interest. The way to explain carried interest is basically like if you are a private equity company and you own a business and your profits after 1 year is only taxed at 20%.
Capital gains tax.
Capital gains tax, not ordinary income. And there's a lot of people that want that tax to be taxed at ordinary income.
Is the thing that they want to they want to extend it past a year, or they just want no long-term capital gains essentially?
No, they wanted to extend it to like 3 to 5 years. I forget what the number is, but they wanted like a threshold where you cannot have to pay ordinary income tax.
Got it.
The beauty is this woman is in Arizona. And they showed all the donors. There's all these like New York, LA, California private equity companies that have donated to her. So, she did her part.
Yeah.
It's good to know you can buy your way out of any situation.
Well, there's 292,000 employees that are employed by private equity companies in Arizona.
Yeah. So you got to protect them.
So if you change the tax rule, I'm pro investor, so
you like this.
I like this.
I'm okay with it. I don't give a shit.
You frickin'
No one knows what's
scumbag.
going on anyways.
Yeah. I'm kidding. It's great. It's literally great. To me, like,
I'm pro capitalism.
Me too. It's all the way down to like encouraging young people to like invest their money rather than spend it. You know, like I just think like the incentives are there. The problem is not enough people understand them or know them. Not necessarily, in my opinion, not necessarily that they exist. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like when you first explain to an investor, like to a young person or someone who's new to investing, hey, if you keep this for more than a year, it's taxed at 20% instead of this. I mean, there's people all over TikTok saying these lessons, and I look at the comments and people like think that they're fucking geniuses. You know, like we should incentivize people who don't invest to invest, and that's one of the ways to do it. So I don't know.
No,
not everyone will agree.
Yeah, so like separate from the economics of this, I had a conversation with our mom this morning, and she was just like talking politics and whatever. And I told her to Google Curtis Yarvin, and I encourage everyone
who's Curtis
who listens to this podcast Curtis? To Google Curtis Yarvin. I know you're very savvy right here. Google him. Drama.
I'm the Jamie.
Okay. Jamie. So Curtis Yarvin is a very alt-right blogger from the last like 10 to 12 years.
So you're all right.
You see that?
No.
Okay.
Why am I all right?
You're talking about Curtis Yarvin.
I'm telling you what I told my mom to do.
Okay. Your mom or my mom too?
Both our mom.
Okay.
So Curtis Yarvin
okay, keep going. Sorry.
is a blogger that has been blogging for like the last 15 years. Peter
the Red
Thiel
Pill Prince
is obsessed with this guy. He found him, and he's basically like
funding him.
No, Curtis Yarvin has become his coach. Peter Thiel is placing candidates all across the country. He's a very smart billionaire that has a lot of resources. So like Blake Masters in Arizona.
Yeah.
That's Curtis Yarvin via Peter Thiel via Blake Master. And this is a very scary. I think Peter Thiel is the scariest person in America right now.
Wow. Would you put that on TikTok?
I would put it on TikTok. I'll probably get killed. So
by Curtis Yarvin.
Yarvin.
Whatever.
Yarvin believes that real political power in the United States is held by something he calls the cathedral, an amalgam of universities and the mainstream press. According to him, the so-called Brahmin social class dominates American society, preaching progressive values to the masses.
It's very scary. I hope people
really
go on a
Thiel-y.
deep dive and realize like what's going on in the country right now. It's crazy.
Yeah. The problem is like your deep dive of what's going on in the country could lead you a lot of places.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's
I'm
like
not deep diving.
You know, there's like Curtis Yarvin over here, and then there's Trump over here.
No, but Curtis Yarvin, Peter Thiel is like really infecting the country.
So it's
right
like
now.
really scary.
They like have won every election. Peter Thiel's candidate is a CEO of Thiel Capital, is Blake Master, who won the primary in Arizona. He's saying QAnon shit that he knows is false, but he's so fucking smart, and he's just like, I know I can get elected on this ballot.
Yeah, I mean, remember I told you that book, The Contrarian?
Oh, yeah.
Was scary as shit, and it's all about Peter Thiel and his world. Yeah, you're right. You know what? You're right. I'm with you. I'm freaked out too.
It's fucking crazy.
I totally forgot. After I read that book, I was like, oh, we're fucked. This guy is like playing chess over here. This guy's
nuts. This is why he stepped down of the board of Facebook.
Yeah, got it.
To be able to fund all these candidates. They're on a mission. I don't know what their mission is.
He's like the George Soros of the right.
Yes. It's fucking scary. You should see what they talk about. I urge everyone to look at Curtis Yarvin's Wikipedia and read what his beliefs are. And Curtis Yarvin is coaching.
Does he believe in gay marriage?
Good question.
Because guess what? Your boy's gay.
I think
he actually does.
Oh, convenient.
But I feel like
that's not in the Bible.
I don't know. When you read that book, The Contrarian, it's like there's a lot of weird shit that's kind of like it doesn't even make sense. I don't know that gay marriage is one of them, but there's like a lot of weird shit that's like, how do you not like Peter Thiel, I don't know. He has some strange beliefs, but it's scary. I don't even want to talk about it. That was Anand who said all that. And
we love you, Pete.
Yeah, Pete. Yarvin.
He might need a Series B from Better as Fuck.
I'll keep my mouth shut.
Yeah, keep all options open.
Blake Masters for president.
All of a sudden, D has some weird topics coming on the pod. Oh my God. Okay.
What does Slootman believe? That's what I'm with.
Slootman does not believe with Blake Masters.
Yeah. Someone else who's freaking a lot of people out. I'm really curious your guys' take on this because I just read a little bit of it. Malcolm Gladwell. So I think that maybe, unless I'm reading it wrong or kind of just seeing social media wrong, I didn't realize that Malcolm Gladwell was like so hated. Like I thought he was like I thought everyone loved Malcolm Gladwell. I had no idea. He did an interview with the Diary of a CEO, Stephen. Gosh, I forget
Bartlett.
that guy's name now. Well, Bartlett, yeah,
That's your guy. Right?
I mean, yeah, had been to the office, was on Short Story Long and whatever, and he did an interview with him where he just, you could say kind of bashed people who work from home. Like he essentially said, what have you reduced your life to, is kind of the soundbite. Now, I don't think it was like that bad as that seems. He was really just saying, like, if you don't believe in your work and you don't have that sense of community around your work and you're really just sitting at home and collecting a paycheck, what have you reduced your life to? From reading social media, which is obviously a skewed perspective, but he's just getting lit up on there. It seems to me like maybe he just underestimated the amount of people that
never want to go back to work.
Yeah, and just feel like work is stupid, and maybe even like, I think there's a different take that like there's all these people that felt like they didn't have a sense of purpose or weren't happy with their job or whatever before, and at least working from home gives them an opportunity to like not be around those people, not be so miserable, and maybe pick up a side hustle or whatever. Either way, he's just getting destroyed on Twitter.
Yeah, I think that the whole thing got taken out of context. Like, he is saying that, don't you want to be a part of something? So if you look at traditionally, specifically like mental health issues, a big part of why people don't feel good about themselves is because they feel alone and they're not part of something. And community, whether it be church, whether it be a company, whether it be a game or organization, whatever it is, whenever you're a part of something, you tend to feel better about your own self. And work, whether you like it or not, is like 80% of most people's lives. Monday through Friday, 9 to 5, work consumes more time than anything else in your life. So when you don't go to work and you choose to stay home, then you more than likely lack that community feeling. And I think that's what he's talking about. And I agree, like, if you're not a part of something, I mean, if you think about like all the mental health issues that are happening, we could talk about all the physical health issues, but a lot of it is just about belongingness. If you go to work, that's your crew. You have something to look forward to on Friday afternoon. 100%. You have something to do. Like, you have people you connect with. Yeah. Think about how many people that have worked for us that their best friends are still from work. They all still hang out together. 10 years, 15 years later.
I met his wife.
Yeah. But by the way, Misu, who got married yesterday, met his wife at Young and Reckless.
And it was fantastic. Yeah. Congratulations, Misu. I have no idea if he listens or not. Yeah. And Krista. Yeah. It's amazing. But like, to your point, I show up every day. I have no work here.
Yeah, I don't know why you show up. That's a whole other thing.
But like, I want belonging.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I want to talk to people. I want to like interact with people, and I drive an hour every day on Tuesday and Thursday to have belonging in a workout facility.
Yeah.
And I want to like be around people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone does. And I think they're mistaking it for like, oh, my employer's trying to fucking take me to the cleaners and make me and not pay me enough. And that attitude, obviously you'll feel resentment and your bitterness because you're like, I got to drive and they're just making me drive. but it's actually good for you too.
Yeah.
I don't know anyone, like, if think about our dad, think about all the people we know that work 30, 40 years, how important work was part of their life. Their community, their friends, their relationships was all driven by work. It's not a bad thing. Like, so you have work friends. That's cool. Like, it's awesome.
Yeah. I mean, I literally talk to all your employees all day.
Yeah.
And
I watch.
I'm probably distracting them from like doing their work.
That's amazing.
But like, it's fun for me. It's like, I need stimulation.
Yeah. Yeah.
No,
Everyone
100%
does,
stimulation.
but they're turning it on the employer, saying that they're making me drive, they're making me dress up, comb my hair, whatever, wear a decent shirt and come to work, and they're making it like they're ruining their life, as opposed to like, dude, people enjoyed going to work. I'm sorry, I know like that's not the theme of the day right now, but like, it was fun. Someone brings donuts. You go to happy hour, whatever. You go to a birthday lunch. It's fun.
Ping pong.
Yeah. Play some ping pong.
Yeah.
I mean,
And we had some of our best times in that office.
I mean, the ping pong game's epic. Someone the other day was like, "Hey, do you guys still play ping pong?" I hadn't seen them in like 10 years. I was like, oh, that was like 10 years ago.
But even on the days that you guys are in the warehouse and there's no one here, it's just me and Logan.
Yeah.
Logan listens to the pod.
Yeah.
And I love seeing Logan.
Yeah. You're stoked to see
We
him.
just have like a great like little banter, and then we do our own thing, and it's great.
Yeah. I agree. Yeah. But I do think, look, I understand like there's this thing which I don't think is all wrong of like, well, it's easy for you to say, Malcolm Gladwell, because you don't clock in at 9 a.m., get yelled at if you're late, clock out at 5. Like they were piling on of like, he said in interviews and stuff, he likes to work from a coffee house, and then he'll go over here, and then he'll go home for a couple hours, and then and it's just sort of this, I don't know what to do about that. I don't have like a side on that, but I do, because I think a lot of people like haven't sort of earned that, that ability to be so kind of fluid, because of time management and stuff like that. But I do get that point. Like there is a large group of people that kind of feels like this, like rules for thee and not for me sort of thing. And that maybe if Malcolm had to clock into an office at 9 a.m., he wouldn't feel so strongly.
Let's put him aside. I come to work every morning. I enjoy it. And it's not easy for me to come into work at the same exact time every single day. But it helps me mentally. It helps. There's a lot of pluses to it that, like, I don't know. We just have to get over.
I just think people are right now in this time, like people are really, really touchy about
anything.
Like
what's going on with your company, Drama?
In what way? Like, what are we doing? Like with work,
in terms of
office,
in person. What's going on?
We have like so here in the building, we have another unit that is like our workspace. So different people come in on different days. And then on Fridays, usually everyone's in. But there's certain
mandatory.
But like, how are you managing?
Well,
like
our group that's
folks
in LA is still relatively small. So it's pretty easy to manage. Like there's just certain days when certain teams are there, they show up. They're on time. Like it's really still super easy.
There's no pushback from them saying like, oh, I want to work from home.
No, if anything, there's a little bit more of like, can we do this a little more often? Because being at home alone, look, I think it was really cool in the beginning, but like being at home alone, like working for weeks on end, I think a lot of our people are starting to get a little lonely, like all it takes is a couple good days together. And then, on that next day, you feel kind of lonely again.
We're not really lonely.
We're not really loners. So it's still really easy for us, but we are very like, it's certain days for certain people. It's not 9 to 5 constantly.
But people want to come. They're happy to come.
Yeah. Most people come more than what's obligated needed. To. Yeah.
I feel like even with you guys, people want to come.
Yeah. I mean, I honestly think if it's younger people, they actually want to come more.
Yeah.
It's fun. If you're young, what the fuck are you doing at home?
It is fun. I agree.
Depressed that your girlfriend dumped you?
I mean, thank God I already had to come in here tonight. Or else if you just at home,
it was just too easy.
Cheetos and
Jesus, throw a fucking missile.
I mean, think about it. If Ari didn't have to come in tonight, what's he doing? He's crying and watching
Sulking.
West Wing and looking
You're
at
watching
old
West
pictures.
Wing, and then I'm like, we're saving you. You should fucking burn your DVDs of West Wing.
Love West Wing.
We'll see what happens. I didn't realize. I think part of this too is people seem to just hate Malcolm Gladwell, and whenever
I like
because he comes off arrogant. I get it.
He's a runner. You know that, right? It's a marathon runner.
He's a big runner.
Yeah, he's a big runner.
Yeah, whenever they don't like, if the internet doesn't like you, they'll pick out anything. And
yeah.
Okay. We're ending with an interview today. Who do we got, D?
So our friends at Ledger set up an incredible interview with one of the co-creators of DeadFellaz, an incredible NFT project that's sweeping the internet. And nice. Betty is, one of the few women in Web3. A lot of dudes in Web3. A lot of dudes.
Yeah, that's true.
And
real sausage fest over there in Web3.
She her and her husband created DeadFellaz. It's an incredible project. They talk about their kind of future. They also gave us advice on our impending group chat NFT, which I thought was really good. So it's an incredible interview. Please, let me tell you this. Listen in.
I got a really interesting phone call today from my mom where she just called me. She said, "Can you call me? No emergency, but can you call me?" So whenever that happens, I know there's like some sort of question or something, but it's not urgent. And so I give her a call and she says, "Can you explain to me what an NFT is?"
Oh, wow. She's all in on the NFT.
Because she heard, you want to know why? She heard the last episode and she was like, "I heard you guys are doing one. I want to know what they are." And I really realized.
Wait, hold on. Yep. Did your mom not hear us telling her and your dad to move your ass back to Ohio because it's so cheap?
Yeah. Because part of the last episode was
how cheap
Akron is like the best place to live.
Akron, Canton, Dayton are the cheapest rental markets in the country.
Did you tell me I should go back?
I literally said on the podcast, I was like, Drama's parents need to tell Drama to go home.
Yeah. I could live like a king. Okay, well, maybe she heard that. Maybe that's why that struck her interest. But what stuck with her wasn't me coming home. So, Mom, it's nice to know that wasn't the priority. But she asked me what an NFT is. And I really realized that I don't know if I even did a good job, but if you can't explain NFTs to your mom, you don't. That's like a good test. Like, do you really know what NFTs are? Try to explain it to your mom. Because it was a challenge. I don't know that I did very well.
How to explain large real estate to your mom? You moved to Canton and Akron and Dayton.
How to explain large property holdings. Yeah, it was really on a list, Akron was? Or just Ohio?
No, it number one.
Yeah, it was all of it.
Akron, Dayton were number 1 and 2, I think.
Dayton, and Akron, Dayton.
Kettering, is that you?
Canton.
Kettering's Rob. Kettering's right by Dayton. That's where Rob's from.
Okay, yeah, Kettering's there.
So you and Rob are rich.
Wow, we could just have like a neighborhood. That's where we could have our bunker.
Yeah, you really could.
Okay. All right, let's get to the interview. Sorry, I totally hijacked that. To the interview.
All right, everyone. Group chat Kathy's. We have a very special guest, thanks to our friends over at Ledger. We have Betty here, the creator of the ultra popular NFT DeadFellaz. Welcome, Betty.
Hey, thank you for having me. Pleasure to be here.
Yeah, it's super exciting because I know Ian Rogers is a huge fan of DeadFellaz because he always brings it up every time I talk to him. So it's
I'm a huge fan of Ian Rogers, honestly. He's a great guy.
He's an incredible guy. He's actually probably one of our most popular guests we have on the podcast, and just like an incredible thinker, and always
really
yeah, like he's thinking about stuff that like doesn't even cross my mind. I'm a simpleton. I'm just trying to, get through the day, have a couple drinks, go to sleep, be up with my kids.
We all have our own strengths. We all have our own strengths.
Exactly.
Yeah, he's brilliant. I always come away from conversations with him feeling very inspired, and Like even just little back and forths. It's really great. I think he's amazing things with Ledger culturally, I think. So yeah, love him.
Yeah, I would love to know how you got into launching DeadFellaz. Like, are you an artist by trade?
No, I'm not at all. I'm more a creative producer. I'm like, I guess, the Ian of DeadFellaz, so to speak. So I'll start from the beginning. So Syke is the artist and co-founder of DeadFellaz, and he is my husband. So we've always worked together.
Wow.
Yeah, prior to DeadFellaz, we ran a creative production agency together. It was very corporate, and we were very lucky. We had good clients, and it was great on paper, but just creatively, it was stifling, as I'm sure many creatives working for corporate would know. And it was not pandemic proof. We lost so many contracts because of the pandemic, like all of our things that were surrounding live events. And, it was shocking. So in January of 2021, we were like looking for other things constantly. And some artists that were in the artist collective that Syke has been in for many years, it's called Depthcore. They said to him, you should check out NFTs. A few of them were doing them already. And so he told me about it. And for me, it was like a light bulb moment. It was like a switch immediately. Wow. I just felt so excited and inspired. And it just, I'd been working for a long time, aside from the creative production, in like community organization and I guess social justice and activism and all of that. And I just felt like there hadn't been anything I felt that could be a vehicle for actual change and restructuring things and, dismantling systems that haven't worked. And then I heard about this and I was immediately like, wow, that really strikes me as something that could be amazing for the world. So we just jumped right in. He started making just one NFTs of his own art, and I was just heavy into research. We were on Clubhouse, listening to Clubhouse all the time. I was nervous to join in because it was very. I didn't hear any voices other than men. If a woman would be on Clubhouse, I'd like run into the room like, oh my god, is a woman speaking? Turn it up. And so I spent a lot of time on Twitter Spaces and just listening and absorbing. And then the PFP projects started to come out, and I was again just immediately inspired in the same way. It just felt like this new social movement. I love the way that it plays on digital identity and community, and how those different communities kind of form sub-pockets and what that means. And I've always been fascinated by sense of self and how that relates to geographical location and age and all of these things. So I was very fascinated by it, but I didn't see anything that represented me. And I was like, well, we can do this. So of course we can do this. And DeadFellaz I wish I had a better story for how DeadFellaz came as an idea, but it was like just a lightning zap of inspiration. It came fully formed. I knew what I wanted it to look like, feel like. I knew the palettes, it was right away. And I guess because Syke and I have worked together for so many years and know each other so well, I was able to communicate that to him immediately, and he just got it. And it came about. The first little dead fella was born about an hour later, and we never looked back.
Well, I mean, a couple things. One, to be able to work with your husband and be successful is pretty special, because I don't think my wife and I could do that. Either she'll kill me or I'll kill her. One of those things would happen.
It's definitely an adjustment if you haven't done it before. But because I guess even when he would create art, he would consult me, and I would give input, and creative direction is something that's always come very naturally. And, he also assumes that role. And so the things that he's very strong at as well, illustrating. He's fantastic, and he thinks about things in a different way to me. But then I have all of these strengths that he just doesn't have, and so when we come together, it just forms this really great, I guess, well-rounded skill set that's done us really well.
Yeah, super interesting on that. And then really, like, how did you, like, you launched the project, it gets traction, and then like, how did you like articulate the vision for where you think this is going? Because I was kind of reading up on all the different kind of directions that you guys are thinking about, but like, how do you even, I mean, because this is such like the wild west, like I guess it's like choose your own adventure, you could pick however you want to go, but like how, like where do you see yourself going, and what's kind of the exciting, like how do you get buy-in from a community, because it's so new?
Yeah, so when we launched, it was a very, very different climate to what it is now, or even what it was 3 months after we launched. Like, I think that being able to be nimble and flexible in terms of approach and how you communicate things is essential, because things are always changing. The climate is constantly different. You know, we're building this, what we want to be a very stable, strong, time-proof brand centered around culture and identity and all of this stuff, but we're building that on a very, very unstable platform, which is, crypto. And so that can be kind of disconcerting. I think it's really off-putting to a lot of people that are not used to working like that. We've been working under pressure and, remotely, and used to doing things very, very quickly, because we've been self-employed in creative production in agencies for many years. So it just came naturally to us. But in terms of communicating that to people, like where we wanted it to go, it was just a matter of, this is so cheesy and I'm sorry, but just being ourselves. I just came into this space as myself. I was nervous too initially, because I can kind of, I say sometimes I like to challenge things and push things and make things different and better, and add a new perspective, and that can be a bit scary sometimes. Anyway, it's even scarier when you're a minority in a space that is often a little bit hostile. I do see that getting better though, but yeah, it was just being ourselves, communicating who I am, who Psych is, where we see DeadFellaz fitting into the world. And to me, that is a pop culture brand, and also kind of pioneers in Web3 tech. I think that it's exciting to be here because we have backing essentially by thousands of people around the world to create new things and to push things and make things better. So we're doing that by many different avenues, I guess. Metaverse development, tech development, we have art and culture, community, and then even going into Web2 brand building through the partnership that we have with UTA, which has been really fun.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So do you view what you're building is the modern brand? Like, my background's in fashion. We started by screen printing t-shirts in downtown LA, and we're fortunate enough to build a number of really successful businesses. But that's how you built a brand then. And this next generation of brand builders are going to do it through NFTs, or like that's the starting point, perhaps, like how people were starting t-shirt brands 10, 15 years ago. Do you think this is the starting point now?
Yeah, I do. I really do. I think we're setting the scene for how things will be done, and providing that stable platform for other people to kind of bounce off of as well. It's like there was no playbook for us on what we do or how we do it. We're at the front of a wave, which is nerve-wracking sometimes. You have to really just, throw caution to the wind and do what you think is right, because no one has done some of the things that we do sometimes. And you see that across all projects. You'll see someone doing something and it's like, wow, that's cool, but no one has done it before, and so it was a risk to them. So it is like the Wild West. It's really fun and exciting, and I honestly love it so much. Like, it's a joy and an honor to be able to do this.
what's interesting to what you said earlier in the conversation was it's weird to think that you as a brand potentially could be punished because the fluctuation of a crypto price. Because in the real world, that would never happen, right? Like if you're Supreme or Nike, like your brand is not impacted by the price of the US dollar, right? Like,
absolutely. I think
which
that
is
is a really good
when
point.
will that separate, or will that never separate because it's so speculative still?
I think that I think it's a facet of the brand. I don't think it is the brand. And so what we have done and what I have seen various communities do, not all, for sure, not all, but if you are building your brand around a culture that is strong and people connect with on an emotional level and on a social level, that is future proofing through all of the fluctuations in the crypto market, in my opinion. And so you can see that across many communities. You know, prices fluctuate, they go up and down, but the brand isn't the price. The brand is the connection, and it's the feelings that you get through being in that community. And it's all of the progression that we're doing socially and technologically and otherwise. So yeah, to me, I think it's concerning to me if a founder is focused on floor price anyway. And I've always said that it's a red flag for me if you see that being spoken about by a founder, because it's for sure exciting when you have bull runs and, you know, things go crazy, but that isn't sustainability. It's, you know, so.
Yeah. What's interesting is like so much about the good part of NFT is really about the community building and like the pride that people in that community have amongst each other. But the price, unfortunately, drives like greed and speculation. And, you know, I like my best kind of real world connection to NFTs is like my in-laws are members of a country club. And that country club is their life. They play golf, they're friends, they go on vacation with them, and that is their tribe. But there's no like resale value to their membership. At least I don't think there is. But they pay a lot of money to be a member of it, and it dictates like how they live. And I think a lot of what I see in NFT communities is that, but this like resale value drives like a level of greed that I feel like it's the can's been opened, so you can't put it back. But like, it just feels like, I don't know. It could have, I feel like it could have been without it. Like this idea of like reselling things. Like, why can't it just be about like, this is the modern way you build a brand or community? But I guess, you know, why there's so much money in this space is probably because I'm contradicting myself now, but it's because they see the money, right?
Yeah.
Like that's why there's so much excitement. I
think it's okay to contradict yourself because it is so nuanced. So there's so many different avenues of how you could experience this as a person that's part of these communities. So there's people that, you know, buy in and that's it. They'll never sell. Yeah. You know, they're emotionally invested. They don't want to leave the community. That's it for them. And the value for them is what you bring to them. And so that is a driver for us and other founders to bring things that make that worth it. You know, and how do you measure that value? You can't really, because it's qualitative. It's not something that you can really measure in some ways. Other ways you can. So some brands, like arguably the only utility that has been brought other than, you know, a PFP is wealth, which is not something that most NFT projects can provide as a utility in a bear market. So how do you then survive that? It's through creating something that people can connect with emotionally, because everybody wants to be loved. Everybody wants to belong. Everybody wants a place in the world. And I think that through the pandemic, that was even more so. You know, it was concentrated and almost to an emergency level. And that's why I think it's kind of taken off in the way that it has in 2021. Yeah. It's an interesting thing, though, because how do we survive otherwise? How do we, initially anyway, I think that we can survive now, but how do we survive without those people that like flip and, you know, do their thing? And some people are both. Some people are both in the community and want to stay in the community, but also enjoy flipping around and getting to the PFP that they really love. So there's just many different ways, and I don't think any of them are wrong. We just have to
like
all of them.
What's interesting is I think about like being a fan of a sports team. So the only person that's making money on the fan of a sports team is the ownership and the players, right? Everyone else is like, if you're a fan of, the Lakers or whatever, like I've been a lifelong fan of the Lakers. I spend so much money on going to games and buying clothes and whatever, supporting them over the years. And I spent so much time too, right? But there's no financial upside for me to be a fan. But in this there is, which I think is like an awesome feature, but it is kind of scary also, because if that particular, like you guys are very dedicated to DeadFellaz and what you're building, a lot of other people viewed it purely as a money grab and, hurt kind of the essence of probably of what this whole thing stands for.
Yeah, I think that's a huge problem, and it's something that I'm very vocal about. I am perpetually frustrated by founders that come into the space and treat, I guess, launching NFT projects and getting that investment as a learning curve, because it isn't a learning curve for the person that's bought the NFT. They've bought something that they expect whatever's happening to happen, or whatever you have said is going to happen. And so it is frustrating because there's so many eyes on what's happening right now that, mainstream media and everything, they look for moments to delegitimize what we're doing, and it works. It happens because of these rug pulls. And that's why I'm so passionate about education. And that's why I'm really into what Ledger are doing, because I think that, especially through what Ian has injected culturally, it's like they've made this tech company that could easily be just so boring and, whatever, blah, into something that's actually really cool and people want to be involved in. And that will help everyone because, as a byproduct of that, everyone gets educated. And I don't know, it's just, I think education is the key to everything. Identifying rug pulls, wallet security, all of that's going to help us in the long run. So passionate about
absolutely.
that.
So I'm going to ask you one last question, and it's advice. Our podcast has been around for 5 years.
Yes.
We have built like this awesome, incredibly engaged like community. We call them Cathys, and because we're the chatty Cathys.
Like that.
And we are launching an NFT project, and we just announced it yesterday. And our like thesis is around, I'm a believer in life, education and access can change your trajectory. The podcast here aims to educate people on what's happening in the world so that they can be smarter in their own life. And then access is, how do we bring our relationships and networks to everybody so that everyone gets access to it? And so that is really what our NFT project is about. Would love your advice on what else should we do? Because I have no idea what we're doing, but we felt like we had to, we were trying to find a way to crystallize the community. And yes, we've done merch and stuff like that, but I don't feel like that holds everyone accountable in the community. But I felt like doing an NFT project and like really laying out all of the different value propositions so that everyone is engaged and wants to like one of the ideas is around like making sure that like if you're an expert in your industry, that if you're a Cathy NFT holder and you need a lawyer, an accountant, a graphic designer, a car washer, there's someone in our community that's incredible at it. Why can't we just direct everyone to use that person? And so, and validate them as like kind of, oh, if you need, you need help with your wedding dress, this woman's an incredible wedding dressmaker. This woman's a chiropractor. This guy is the best person to take you to the airport. I don't know, whatever it is. but like we just want to like, we're not doing it for, financial gain. It's similar to you. Like we're doing it because we just want to like create this community and crystallize it. But I'd love, your advice on what we should do and how we should do it.
Yeah, well, I think that, you've already created a solid community by the sounds of it. So introducing an NFT project to that, because you've done community first, you need to be prepared to receive a little bit of an influx of people that do want to flip, because it's like, it can be concerning, but the community sentiment and vibe will definitely ride you through that. It's interesting that you say about the networking, because that happened naturally in DeadFellaz as well. Like a lot of people, because they've been in the communities, they work together and they've gone on to create something together. They trust each other. They've made their own networks. So it does happen naturally through NFT communities, because it does crystallize it. So I think that's immediate value anyway that you already have. But, what do you hope? I guess the questions that I would ask myself if I were doing this is like, what do I hope to create with the immediate funds that come through this? Is it going to be something that I provide the community for free because we already have structure, or is it going to be a mint price, or how can I introduce Web3 to what we have already? Because you have already this structure and this community. How can you insert Web3 into that? And what else can you bring the community that you already have through that modality?
I think means. Yeah, no, those are great questions. And I think we've thought through some of it. Like we've impacted a lot of career changes. And I think part of that is like how to help people do that. So having someone internally on the team that's almost like a career counselor that helps place you in if you're looking to make a career change, you're looking to learn about something, and like in that, like hiring a community manager that is connecting people all day. And I think that's
amazing.
That's really where I want to make the investment.
Yeah, like I see it then through what you're saying as like a professional launch pad for people that are looking for direction or guidance, which is incredibly valuable in my opinion. And it's something that is a problem from school level upwards is, you get these guidance counselors and people telling you should know what you're doing at age 15. And it's terrible because it's never identifying the actual strengths and passions within a person. So that can be a cool thing. Yeah.
Well, that's great. Well, thank you so much. And super interesting story, and congrats on all of your success. I know, I'm sure being a woman in Web3 can't be easy, considering like there's just like way too many dudes in this world. But yeah, kudos to you all, and thanks for the advice, and thanks for Ledger for connecting us, because we wouldn't have been able to have you on if it wasn't for them.
Yeah, thank you so much. It's been a pleasure to be on here and chatting, and good luck with everything. Don't hesitate to message me if you want to have a little back and forth again. And thanks to Ledger.
Yeah, I'll definitely send you everything before we launch, because we'd love to get your feedback.
Amazing. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, that was great, guys. That's all we got. Everyone have a great weekend. Nope.
See you Tuesday.
Everyone have a great week. We'll see you Tuesday. And bye-bye.
Peace.